Don't starve together. No. How about we turn the title on its head and play Starve Alone instead? In other words, can you beat Don't Starve Together without eating? The rules are simple. Today I'm gonna be attempting to beat the 2 final bosses of DST, that being the ancient FUELWEAVER and the celestial champignon, without eating. If an action says eat, it's simply not allowed. And so I'm using the Eat Your Veggies mod to prevent me from doing so accidentally. Okay, but am I missing something here? How do you plan on beating the game without eating? There's no way you can beat both FUELWEAVER and CC before you start starving, right? No, there isn't. So we need to be creative here. The strategy I'm planning on using heavily relies on playing as Wortox. Oh, well, I haven't ever played Wortox. Heck, I haven't even unlocked him yet. Better just cough up the spools then, or this is gonna be impossible. Let's jump into the run and I'll explain things as we go. In DST, hunger drains at a rate of 75 points per day. If your hunger ever reaches 0, you start starving and you lose 1.25 health every single second. If we do some quick math on Wortox's stats, we have a total of 21 minutes and 20 seconds to beat the game. For reference, that is less than 3 days, and the world record for beating just one of the final bosses is 31 minutes and 1 second. We need a better plan. Wortox has a special ability that is the reason why I picked him. While food restores half his hunger, which doesn't matter to us, he can capture the souls of the creatures that die near him. The souls can normally be eaten to restore 25 hunger, which we can't do, but they can also be released by dropping them on the ground, which restores 20 health instead. One soul therefore extends our life by a whopping 16 seconds, which is less than a seed. This means that we need to kill something every 16 seconds just to stay alive when our hunger runs out. We, in other words, need to release 30 souls per day, but since Wortox can only carry 20 souls at a time, we can't even go a single day without killing a bunch of stuff. That's enough math for now, though. We also need to beat the game here, hello? Since we have some hunger to play with at the start of the game, we need to make the absolute most of it. And this wormhole led me straight to the mosaic biome, so that's awesome. My initial goals are gonna be to tame a beefalo and kill the Eye of Terror, and then to rush the ruins. A beefalo is gonna be great to explore the map fast, and since we don't need any food, he can have it. To tame a beefalo, we need gold, which we can get plenty of here. I'll also make sure to dig up graves here to go insane, since nightmare fuel is gonna be nice to have in the ruins, and releasing a soul gives us 2.5 sanity, so staying insane is gonna be hard for us. On day 2, I found some beefalo and put 2 of them down to have wool for a saddle and meat for a hambat. Let me set a base here and tame a beefalo. Hello? Wortox? I said beefalo. Where are you going? My stupid ass forgot the beefalo and started looking for the mandrake forest instead. Since the brick road ended in the molehill biome, I thought the world wouldn't have a pig forest biome, which would mean that the terrarium was in the mandrake forest. Doesn't make sense? This world was bugged, however, so I was really surprised when I found the pig forest instead. This is great, however. Silk and boards from pig houses are definitely something I'll need a lot of in the run, so why not look through this forest, I thought. Then I started starving, and I don't think I realized just how much health you lose from that, and how short 16 seconds is. For now I think we're fine though, because of all the spiders here, but what am I gonna do in the ruins? Clockworks and nightmare creatures don't even drop souls. Let's not worry about that for now though. We finally found the terrarium, so let's fight the Eye of Terror. Hold on a minute! Reviving yourself restores 2/3 of your hunger. This changes everything. Dying isn't exactly eating, meaning we can tactically kill ourselves to not starve for a moment. A single life-giving amulet therefore gives us 13 whole minutes of respite, which is about 1.6 days. We can use the red gems we dug up from the graves earlier to make more, and counting our red gems to 4 gives us 6.4 days of respite. That's great and all, but certainly not enough to last us the entire run. We would need about 40 for that, but combining these strategies has me filled with hope. Picking the right moments to use the revives will be key though. On my way out of the Mandrake forest that I found myself in, I spotted a living tree. This is awesome since it'll let me make a shadow manipulator later. I also need to make sure I pick the evil flowers to be able to convert them into nightmare fuel. Then I found what will be our lifeblood for the run. Bees. I had conveniently put my base close to both the Bee Queen biome and the Molehill biome that both contain bee fields. And bee fields, they contain many bees. Every beehive is home to 6 to 8 bees depending on season, and since they all drop souls, they're amazing for gathering many souls quickly. I make sure to craft 2 bug nets using the silk I just gathered to catch 20 bees. 17 bees. The bees can be murdered from my inventory at any time for souls. Look, I know it sounds terrible, but we ain't a pacifist today. We're quite literally a bloodthirsty hellspawn. Night is falling, so let's finish Eye of Terror, shall we? So why did we kill Eye of Terror exactly? Firstly, I really like the eye mask, and it will serve as my feedable helmet right until the endgame. Remember that we don't need our own food, so the helmet is perfect. Secondly, I was planning on using the milky whites to craft the milkmaid hat. That item restores your hunger passively while wearing it, meaning you never have to eat. It sounds great, but it's really expensive, and since we're playing Wortox, we would only get half the hunger value from it, so I opted not to craft it at all. Anyways, to get home, I quickly used another of Wortox's great abilities, soul hopping. You can soul hop twice per soul if you do it in quick succession, or use the map and click wherever you want to teleport. This is a super useful ability that I've already fallen in love with after only having played Wortox for less than half an hour. Now let's finally start taming a beefalo. This became really late unfortunately on day 6, meaning I probably won't bother taming it fully before spring when that becomes impossible. It's gonna be great to have in autumn though, and we'll need it for some stuff later. Before I head into the ruins, however, I want to make a prestidigitator to prototype a life-giving amulet. We live in a savanna, so capturing the necessary rabbits won't be an issue. There we go. Look at my inventory, it's basically full already, so I'll definitely need to find Hutch to be able to bring any ruins loot home. Since I left the living logs at home for the shadow manipulator, I also need to find the lunar grotto for more of those living logs. I was pretty unlucky in finding what I was looking for, but I did find a touchstone. So when I ran out of souls and health, I made sure to revive myself to get 1.6 days of extra life, just like we talked about earlier. After that, I quickly found the grotto, where I killed a whole bunch of light bugs to get 20 souls, and of course I also gathered 6 living logs from the local mushrooms. Then it took me over half a day to find Hutch, because I had obviously missed him earlier like a blind fool riding a diarrhea cow. Whatever, I had already seen the ruins, so I could just hop over there. Before I had even found the ruins proper, however, I already started starving. Jeez, the hunger from the touchstone is already gone, and I only found the military biome, so this will be awful. Clearing the military biome wasn't exactly the prettiest sight, to say the least. Although I got pretty much all the ruins gems I need, I got hit so many times and it took so incredibly long. I don't know what it was, but I just couldn't kite properly. But thanks to the amazing healing Wortox can do, we're fine. I shouldn't say fine though, since I ran out of food twice and had to use 2 life-giving amulets. While I'm here, I also need to hammer any broken clockworks I see, for the simple reason that they have a 25% chance of dropping a red gem. Anyways, both the complete station and the labyrinth were in the sacred biome, because of course they were, and they were also in the last place I looked. At the station, I had a pretty panic-inducing moment. I had just used the life-giving amulet against the bishops and crafted my stuff, but before I could even pick it all up, the nightmare phase spawned 2 terror breaks and a bunch of crawling horrors. Since I just revived myself, I'm one hit without armor, so this was really dangerous. Thankfully, I was able to use the nightmare kiting skills I learned while making the terror break video, so just watch. Yeah, I'm not in the best shape to say the least. I have no souls to my name to heal myself, and since nothing that spawns naturally here drop any souls, I have to go into the labyrinth to farm dangling depth dwellers. Luckily, by riding the beefalo, I can let it tank all the damage for me, and so I can farm them without much risk. But now I think it's time for the next boss fight, the Ancient Guardian. I opted to do the fight on the beefalo to keep taming it, but it's safe to say that I don't have much experience fighting bosses on beefalo. You need good timing to animation cancel well, which I don't have yet. And you need to not get bucked off, so this was really sketchy. Oh boy, I was more concerned about my life there than the red gems. Let's see what we get. No, not a worthless star caller. I already made 2. The rest is okay. I don't really need much more Thulsite, and 3 green gems would have been nice, but I can't really complain. Wortox doesn't really need Lazy Explorer anyways. Hello, what's your health there, Wortox? Well, too late, and now you wasted 7 souls as well. Oh, and you also forgot to pick up one of the red gems. Astonishing, that surely won't come back to bite you later. I crafted some crowns and started heading out. On my way, I wanted to gather slurper pelts to make the Belt of Hunger. This will increase the life provided by the life-giving amulets, since it gives 40% less hunger drain, as long as I have time to wear it. For some reason though, there were no slurpers in the wild, so I had to go back into sketchy Spelunky territory, and I only got 3 pelts anyways. Thankfully, I have a construction amulet to be able to craft the Belt of Hunger. I head back to base, and day 21 is coming up in 5 days, so we need to prepare for the Shadow Pieces, which is the first boss fight on our way to Ancient FUELWEAVER.
which is the first boss fight.
Firstly, I need to find the marble pieces and where to put them, and once again, I found absolutely nothing. I got very lucky though. After a little more than half a day of searching, I found the marble set piece where the fight will take place. Then I realized I had forgotten to craft the Belt of Hunger, which would be perfect to have here since I'm gonna run around without a backpack anyways. So I headed back to base to craft one. Since I was home again, I also thought this would be the perfect time to catch some bees for more souls for the upcoming fight. And on my way to catch bees, I found a new land branch as well as the Knight's Head. Since there are so many biomes left that I haven't found, I figured that most of them would be there, so after catching 40 bees and using another amulet, I went there. I immediately find the Bee Queen biome, the swamp, and the Triple Mac biome. These are all great to find since we'll need them shortly, and I stopped over in the swamp to pick some reeds for pan flutes. As much as I dislike them, they will be very useful soon. Thankfully though, I also found the bishop head in the swamp and brought it back to the set piece. There's still one biome though that I was hoping to have found by now, and it's the Pig King biome. It would be great for another, pan flute, but also to convert the frazzled wires from the ruins into gold. It has to be over at the land branch according to what I've learned making the exploration guide. Let's just hope I can release it someday. But lo and behold, I was right. I didn't find the rook nose here though, as I was expecting, but I have 3 more likely biomes to search before I lose my mind. Out of the Deefly Desert and the Moonstone Forest, which are both right here, the Moonstone Forest is the most likely to contain a piece, so I'll start there. Well, that was easy. Since I found it so fast, I had a little more time than I thought, so I just spent it farming souls. Now winter is here though, and I need to farm Mac Tusk for a cane before night falls. I got lucky though, and 2 of them gave me both the Tam and the Tusk. I also made sure to collect the Hound's Teeth. Back at base, I crafted the cane from the Tusk and a Dapper Vest from the Teeth. We need it later to complete the Pearl task so we can fight Celestial Champion. Now it's time for the Shadow Pieces fight, and I use yet another amulet to not have to worry about starvation during it. This fight went the opposite of smoothly, since my animation cancelling really sucked. Sensitive viewers have been warned. Okay, that is the second step completed for FUELWEAVER, the first final boss we want to beat. Great, the beefalo destroyed the saddle. Yeah, there's no way I'm taming this guy before spring. Anyways, after picking up the much needed nightmare fuel, we need to discuss FUELWEAVER prep. Since we can't eat any sanity food because that would count as eating,
What?
we have a problem. I'm not playing Wigfrid anymore, so her songs aren't gonna work as a solution for the negative sanity auras. No, we need a particular item that completely counters sanity in the FUELWEAVER fight. The Beakwing Crown. The crown is special in the way that it reverts negative sanity auras to positive sanity auras, halving them in the process. In other words, we're gonna be benefiting from a 200 sanity per minute aura just by wearing the crown. The problem, however, is obtaining it in the first place, and we have two options. Number 1, fight Beaqueen, which is a very hard boss, or 2, fight Claws and hope for a 20% chance to get the crown. Yeah, it's safe to say that I opted for the first option. Since I don't have knapsacks, I can't use the strategy I've done in the past, so some innovation was needed, and I was very happy with the strategy I came up with. Then about a week after I did, legendary DST YouTuber Guile uploaded this community post where he used a very similar strategy, so unfortunately I can't take credit for this one. Link to Guile is in the description. Anyways, the strategy involves grass tufts, a watering can that we need to fill in the cave since it's winter, 16 cobblestones, a fire staff, and unfortunately, a pan flute. 3 to be exact. Put down the cobblestones in a square, put the tufts down individually in the middle, use the revive, and we're good to go. That works so well, I almost can't believe it, dude. The coveted crown is ours on day 26, and we're just gonna dump the royal jelly on the ground for obvious reasons. You don't see that every day, do you? Also, this is pretty crazy. I go to pick up the life-giving amulet from the ground. I accidentally pick up a stinger instead without realizing. Then I see it in my inventory and think, WTF, what is this junk? And I drop it, but I don't pick up the life-giving amulet afterwards anyway. And I just leave it because I'm a stupid idiot. Anyways, the nearly last piece of FUELWEAVER prep will be to gather 8 fossil pieces. They are necessary to summon the boss, and I'll also use them to beat the Moonstone event. I get very lucky and get all the fossils I need from mining just 4 spider dents. Then I have this close call on my way out. I don't have time to fight FUELWEAVER just yet though. This is because we 100% need to do the Moonstone event on day 31, and we would also very much like to fight DEERCLOPS on day 30. While I waited, I took some time to farm more nightmare fuel, since it's impossible to stay insane when the souls I drop every 16 seconds restore sanity. I don't have a lazy deserter and I can't eat green mushrooms, so wormholes it is. Then I took the time to hammer some pig houses over by picking. I need all the boards I can get for a certain pearl and a certain crab. After that I killed more bees. I always kill bees. And now DEERCLOPS is coming. DEERCLOPS, you missed every attack. That must be embarrassing. Then I immediately ran over to the Moonstone Forest to perform the Moonstone event. It went about as smoothly as it could have gone actually, and now the Mooncaller staff is ours. Now we would be able to go after FUELWEAVER if it weren't for everyone's favorite NPC, Pearl. Yeah, I have to bring her the Dapper vest we crafted earlier on day 35 at the latest, since it needs to be snowing when I do, and otherwise I lose a lot of time since I have to fish up the debris around her island. I mined these guys for moon rocks, mined marble and dug up carpets, and collected poop of all things to prepare for more of the other tasks. I also crafted the umbrella and deconstructed the Mooncaller staff to be able to use the living logs to make a telelocator staff. Then we're off to find Pearl. I row out and immediately find a driftwood piece to make a better ore, and with it I find a bottle less than a minute later that tells me where Pearl is. Pearl is not that far from here, so I decided to row rather than soul hop for some stupid reason, wasting another half a day's worth of hunger. While I'm here, I hang some monster meat on Pearl's drying racks, telelocate Pearl to trigger snow so I can give her the vest, put down the chair but Pearl didn't sit on it for now, plant and fertilize the berry bushes, collect some bullkelp stalks, drop the building materials off, collect 2 moonglass for the struggles, and some driftwood. Then I soul hop back to land since we can complete the rest of our tasks later. At home, before we fight FUELWEAVER, I prepare a farm so I can farm a potato, since that's needed for the struggles that we'll need later if you can believe it. Then I want to head into the caves to exchange the iridescent gem we got from the Moonstone event for an astral detector down in the ancient archives. If you didn't know, the astral detector is also needed to beat the celestial champion, which is one of our goals. When I entered the cave, spring hit me like a boulder, cause I couldn't believe this at the time. My beefalo hasn't tamed yet, obviously, since I have been feeding him very poorly, and now he went in heat and started attacking me. R.I.P. beefalo, after all I've done for you. It is not all doom and gloom though. At least the archive spawned right next to the stairs here, and I completed the ancient Orchestrina puzzle first try as well, trust. Also, I didn't have enough flint for a pickaxe to mine the statue down here, so to get the Thule-sight for the astral detector, I deconstructed my 13% crown. Now we can finally prepare for FUELWEAVER. And the best weapon I could think of for the fight was glass cutters. To get those, I need to find the lunar island, and that's where the astral detector comes in. After I have found the 2 altar pieces on the mainland, the detector will always point me to the 3 altar pieces on the lunar island, and so I paddled over there. When I got there, however, a frog rain started, and then came a hound attack. I outplayed them all by committing tactical death, since we need more hunger anyways, and then I put the altars together. I quickly mined some moonglass and crafted 2 glass cutters. They should be enough. I figured since I'm out here on the ocean anyways, that I'd finish Pearl's tasks as well. I sailed for 1.5 days to find some cookie cutters. I fought moose goose for no reason. I caught 10 butterflies. I went to the caves for light bulbs and fireflies, and then I teleported back to Pearl. After killing the lure plant, planting flowers, repairing her home, and giving her a parasol, she still wouldn't sit on the stupid chair. Whatever, I'm going for FUELWEAVER now. After catching some bees and crafting a piggyback, I head down into the caves to look for the atrium where the FUELWEAVER lives. I can't remember the last time this happened, but I found the atrium behind the first tendapillar. That's pretty awesome. Now, this is by far gonna be the hardest fight in the run. I have no weather panes this time to spice things up, but I have some nifty tricks I want to pull to deal with the woven shadows. Credit for this strat goes to Amaslari, link in description. I almost messed up bad there at the end, but that's the first final boss down. One to go, and it's the Celestial Champion. So let's go after it right away. There are some steps left before we can fight it, and 3 of the most notable are 1. Getting the Pearl when Pearl decides to sit on the stupid chair, 2. Defeat Crab King one final time before his rework, and 3. Doing the Moonstorm event, which we only need to do once nowadays, thankfully. Returning to base, we are greeted by a potato. Lovely, let's bundle it up. Then it's off to see Pearl. Sit on the chair, please. Come on, sit on the chair. Yes, Gobbler, eat the berries. Sit on the chair, lady. Yes! Thank goodness for that. Pearl acquired. Now we've got everything for Crab King. Well, I say everything, but we're missing 2 purple gems. Thankfully, I saw 2 bishops over here by the cave entrance, so that's not gonna be a problem. For Crab King, I'm going with a pretty similar strategy to last time, with the big difference being that I don't have any weather panes. It turns out though that you don't actually need them to cancel Crab King's healing ability. Let me show you what I mean. I also built this grass boat here to hopefully distract one of the claws. That was about to go so poorly. I used all my boards and nearly 8 ice staves for that. You also saw how close my sanity was to giving out. Yeah, it really hurts not to have any form of sanity foods to restore it after I revive. Anyways, the next step is to transport the celestial tribute here to the other side of the galaxy, along with all the other altars. This may take a while. Wait, that actually took me 5 full days! That's completely insane, but it really takes that long if you have to stop to kill bees every 16 seconds. From there, it took me less than 3 minutes to get a moon collar staff though to cool down, so I guess it balances out. I spent a day packing for CC, and I also upgraded Chester for more slots. Then I went to the mosaic biome. And would you look at that? I found the celestial orb immediately. We need that. After catching even more bees, I did the Moonstorm event. Here, you need to give Grandpa here tools with funky names and fend off murder birds while also mining lightning strikes and catching 10,000 volt fireflies, while also making sure not to accidentally go to bed too early or starve to death. Even then, it's actually pretty easy. Then I headed over to the junkyard to collect some scrap that we also need nowadays. I also didn't get enough infused moonglass from the event, so I went to the second moonstorm to mine the rest of it. After doing some more packing, we're finally here, in front of the Celestial Champignon, to once and for all see if it's possible to beat Don't Starve Together without eating. Are you ready for this? Because I've killed far too many bees not to be. Let's go! Can you beat Don't Starve Together without eating? The answer is yes! Sorry for the long wait, guys, but I'm finally back to uploading content, it seems. I really hope you enjoyed this as much as I did making it, and if you did, why don't you go ahead and share this with some people who enjoy it too? I spent countless hours making this, so it would mean the world to me. With that said, enjoy life!